So we're at the park today again. We love getting out in the summertime. It's just beautiful here today. And sometimes at the park, we just like to sit and chill and talk before we go for our walk. But I asked Alvin today if he'd make a video, but he has no idea at all what we're going to talk about. So one thing, and I'm totally putting him on the spot here, but I want to know what it's like in the man cave.
What?
In the man cave. Okay, so a lot of couples...
I can't let you know that. That's why it's the man cave.
Okay, when we were first married, there's a lot of times a man will go in the cave. And I used to want to be in there with him. But sometimes I'd try to sneak in and I'd like get bit. Like if a bear's hibernating and you want to go and see what's going on where the bear is, and the bear would come and bite you. So I learned through our marriage, stay out of the man cave. I think a lot of young couples who are first married, they might not realize what the man cave is. They think he's just in there watching TV or reading or ignoring his wife, but it's really not about that. And some young couples, when they're first married, the wife, if she doesn't know what the man cave is or know about the man cave, she might think, oh, he's mad at me, or he's ignoring me, or he, she can think a lot of negative thoughts. And I do find, until I understood more about what was going on in your man cave, I used to think too, sometimes you were ignoring me or mad at me. So then it would pour fuel into my thoughts. I would start having negative thoughts like he's ignoring me or he's mad at me or something like that. And I would, then when I started finding out more about your man cave and that you're really processing something in there, I'd want to come in because I'm a nurturer. Women are nurturers. So we want to go in and I want to help you in the man cave. Yes. I want to help you in there. Yeah. So my compassion would want to come in and help you in the man cave and just be with you in the man cave. But I found out quickly, don't go in the man cave because you're going to get bit. So we're not in the man cave today, but can you tell us what it's like in the man cave?
All right, well, the first thing, the man cave is not always a physical location. So the man cave can be a place where you quiet yourself. It could be a physical location, but it's a place where you quiet yourself and you try to process things. So I'll give you for instance, let's say a guy loses his job. He might come home and he doesn't really feel like talking about it. And the wife wants to talk about it, and she wants to talk about what are we going to do next, and he may not know what to do next. So because of that, and this could be a very general term, men can be, and women as well, but a lot of men are I hope they are solution oriented, which means that when we become overwhelmed, we kind of go into ourselves. When we go to ourselves, some guys watch sports on TV, some people are just, surfing the internet. Some guys just want to go to sleep, but the last thing they want to do is to talk about it. And, and I like talking about it. I think that's the female, quote unquote, is part of me. I love talking and processing, but at the same token, when I don't know what to do and I feel overwhelmed, it was like years ago, when you told me that, we were going through something and you were saying, I love you. You were writing to me at the time, and we were.
I was just loving on you.
And you said, I love you, and I remember thinking, I don't need love. I need solutions.
Yeah, you told me that. You said, I don't need your love. I need solutions.
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna be honest with you. I even got to the point where, like if someone would say, I'm going to pray for you. I'll get some others to pray for you. I'm like, I don't need prayer. I need solutions. So if let's say you need money, I need money. I don't need prayer. And what I'm trying to say is you do need prayer in all these different situations. But a lot of times when you're processing stuff or when you're overwhelmed with things and you can't figure it out, and even as a Christian, you know what the Word of God says, but the Bible says that the enemy is like a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. And in those moments when we're overwhelmed, in those moments when we're doubting, in those moments when we're worrying, in those moments when we're overly self-conscious, that's those weak moments where the enemy comes in and he tries to put thoughts in our head of the worst possible thing that can happen. And even when the worst possible things happen, I mean, let's face it, we've all had things that would be considered the worst possible thing, whether it's a health challenge or a financial situation or a relationship situation. I'm sure, and many of you who are watching have faced all those things. And for a lot of us, those can be some of the worst things that can possibly happen.
What?
But
Go
the
ahead.
Bible said,
Yeah.
the Bible said that all things work together for good to them that love God and are called according to his purpose. And we can think about things that are happening in third world countries. We can think about things that are happening to family members and people that we care about. I don't know all the answers, but I know this much. I know this much in this year that we're in right now, that everything that I've seen where the enemy tries to bring devastation and discouragement and overwhelm that puts us into our cave, that God at the same time, if we can continue to trust in him and pray and to continue to grow and develop, that God can turn those bad things around for good and for his glory.
And it's in the man cave where you recharge. That's where you go to recharge. And one thing that's helped me as a wife that you've done, I just ask now, I say, are you okay? And you'll say, yeah, I'm just processing. Or I'll say, are you mad at me? Because sometimes it's hard to tell if you're mad at me or if you're in the cave. And once you reassure me, it's nothing to do with me, then I'm okay.
Right.
One thing that helps me when he goes into the cave is not to try to get him out of the cave, not to try and go in the cave, because I will get bit. And another thing that I find is now I know he's going to come out of the cave. Once he's done processing and recharging, he will come out of the cave on his own. And I just have to, while he's in the cave, do things that makes me happy. I have to go and keep busy, do things that make me happy, and not feel guilty that I'm doing something to make myself happy while he's in there processing and kind of maybe looking sad. He's okay. He doesn't need me to help him be happy or whatever's going on. I just need to leave him be, keep myself...
And the last thing, just go along with it, the last thing I want is for you to be depressed and down. The other thing about it is that I'm more introverted than you. Introverted does not necessarily mean shy. It just means that you recharge different ways. Now, I love being with you. I love our times together. But when I have challenges in my mind or I'm trying to figure things out, sometimes I need that quietness by myself. Even if we're sitting in the same room. We can sit in the same room sometimes, and if I'm dealing with whatever the issue might be, I want you there. I just might need to be kind of quiet at that moment.
Right.
But I'm certainly not mad. I may not even be depressed about it.
Right.
It's just that I'm thinking it through. So even if it's not even something that's serious, let's say it's just making decisions about, where we're going to go on vacation or something like that. Sometimes I just need to be quiet and think it through, but I'm not mad or depressed or sad. I just got to think it through.
And it's important to know that about your husband, because if you don't know it, you can take it personal. I'm sure there's many wives who probably have gone through this and feel neglected or whatever, and she's trying to get him to talk. Don't force him to talk. Let him be in the cave, and he'll come out. I promise you. You've come out so many times, and you come out better.
Just want the world to know.
And you come out better if I don't try to help you come out of the cave. So don't go in and try to decorate his cave. Don't go in and try to fix it all. Just do things for yourself at that time. Take advantage of being busy. Like if he's sitting in his man cave, I don't anymore think you're ignoring me. I understand it. And I go get busy. I'll enjoy doing some cooking or whatever I enjoy doing, I do it. And he might even drive me, because we like going out together. We do. You don't like if I go shopping alone. You want to be there with me.
Yeah.
So he'll go in the car. He might not even talk, but he wants to be with me. But
and I won't go in the store either.
Right. But you love doing that where we're together, but we might not be talking. because you're processing, and I need to understand that,
Right.
and you understand me, which we'll talk about another time,
Yeah.
not this time. So
And that's not all the time. I'm not in the man cave every day.
No.
all the time. We're just talking about
yeah,
times that can be inflammatory if you don't understand those times. And that time could be once a year, twice a year, once a month.
some men might need to go in every day after a stressful day at work. They
Yeah.
might need that time.
Yeah.
And it's hard because the woman needs time to process her day too. But it's all about navigating through that and finding each other's rhythm and what works for your marriage.
Yeah. It's a negotiation. I heard someone say a long time in a marriage, you get what you negotiate. And negotiate is not a bad thing. You try to find out what works best for each
Right.
one of you, but more importantly, what works best for the relationship, so that the relationship's, because sometimes there are times in a relationship where I may have to yield more to what you need, and there are times you have to yield more to what I need. But at the same time, it makes the relationship strong and healthy. Because there are times I'm stronger than you are,
Right.
and there are times that you're stronger, emotionally than I am.
Right.
And even sometimes spiritually, there are certain seasons that someone may be going through a dry season because you lost a loved one. When I lost my sister, last year, I'm not sure how I manifested that, because if I go into the proverbial cave, I'm not sure that I'm in the cave sometimes.
Right. He doesn't even know he's in the
Yeah, I
cave
don't even know.
sometimes. It's me that notices immediately a shift.
Yeah.
And he's gone into the cave.
Yeah.
And like I said, I used to try to go in there with you, but I don't anymore because you don't have it decorated the same as I like. I don't like the decor.
No, I don't want any of that
I've
stuff.
stayed
I
out
don't
of
want
that
anything.
cave.
No,
So,
but let me get that example like with my sister. So my sister passed. It happened so quickly, and we were extremely, extremely close. And it happened with a time of us, driving down to where she lived, being in the hospital in emergency with her. 2 weeks later, she was gone. So it was just crazy to try to process that whole thing. And I wasn't mad or sad. I was just trying to process what could I have done anything better? Why didn't I know? Did she tell me? Did she give me hints that things were wrong? Did she? You go through a myriad of things. So it wasn't a mad thing. It was trying to just process this person that I've known all my life. Now that person is totally gone. And I can imagine there are people who go through that, who lose, they lose their spouse or lose a child, which is devastating, But you got to give each other the space depending upon what they need. Like you said, some people need to talk about it. A lot of men just need to process it and just be there when they're ready to talk about it.
So one thing is just let them go in the cave and realize that they need that time and allow them that time.
Yeah.
And if you don't try to go in there with them, they'll come out stronger and better with solutions to what they're processing.
Yeah.
And that's it, really. That's right.